Welcome to episode 1 of Slightly Inaccurate History. We're going to talk about the fascinating story of Lady Jane Grey. I must say, I emphasise the inaccuracies. This will be littered with inaccuracies. That's not what we're here for. I'm just telling you the tea of what happened to our poor, dear Lady Jane Grey. And also, sorry if I swear. I would say I'll try not to, but I probably won't. So if you're offended by swear words, you can fuck off. Okay, right. Lady Jane Grey. Basically, this is in the year, when would this be? I don't know, the 1500s something, I think. Henry VIII had popped his clogs. His son, Edward, I think his name was, took over the kingdom. So he was kinging it about. And all of a sudden he's like, I don't feel too good. I'm not got a bit of a dicky tummy or something. He's not too good. So has a little lie down, and a couple of weeks goes past and he's like, this ain't looking good for me, Huns. I think I'm going to be popping my clogs like my dad did. Only problem is, who's going to be the king then? Can't entertain the idea of a woman taking on the reign. So I'm going to have to look around. Who have I got in my family? The Privy Council. That's all the decision makers in the day were advising him, and they were looking through. So he has got 2 sisters who are the daughters of Henry VIII. Problem there is, A, they're female, and B, they're Catholics. Are they both Catholics, or is one of them Catholic? I think they're both Catholics. Or they might be Protestant. Anyway, whichever it is, they're on the wrong team, according to Edward. He's not happy with that at all, because he's big on being a Protestant. He's like, that's where it's at. I'm not interested in you Catholics. Not having them. So he's searching around. He's probably going on the DNA website or something like that. I expect to try and find who else he can get. He's got a cousin, I think it's his cousin, some relation, Lady Jane Grey. She's only she's a teenager herself, so she hasn't got any children. But he's thinking, well, at least she ain't a Catholic. Let's pop her in the interim, and then when she has sons, they'll take it on. So he leaves, in his will or whatever it is. Taking over the kingdom is Lady Jane Grey and her male heirs. So they goes, right, fine, that's sorted. Knock on the door at Lady Jane Grey's house. They're like, Lady Jane Grey, you're actually the queen. Can you come with us? She's like, what the fuck? Because obviously she's just going about her business. She's a cousin of Mary, who's Henry VIII's oldest daughter. And she's like, you want to go and get married? This is Mary's gig, not mine. She's next in line. I'm distant. And also, no, thank you. So they're like, no, this is the real deal. You are actually the queen, Lady Jane Grey, I'm afraid. She bursts out in tears. That much I know is true. I know that little bit. She bursts into tears. She has a massive hissy fit. She's not happy about this situation at all. But being such a little do-gooder young lady, she's like, well, I'll do as I'm told then. So off she goes to the palace, and now she's a queen. She's got the full coronation and everything, walking down the aisle in some sort of, I don't know, wherever it was, some sort of abbey or something, I don't know. Cloth of gold all on her, crown popped on her head and everything. She wasn't even a fan of that. She tried to take it off. She wasn't having it. But anyway, reluctantly, she's queen now. So she's like, right, all right then, make the best of this. And she's the queen. Meanwhile, Mary, who is Henry VIII's oldest daughter, is livid. She is fuming. Honest to God, she's literally so red. because as far as she knew, that's literally her job. She's the queen in waiting. Her brother's just died, so it should go to her. She's absolutely fuming. So she goes about raising an army. Privy councillors are realising she's actually picking up a bit of steam there, and they're like, shit, I think we've backed the wrong horse here, lads. So in comes Mary with her army. She's like, I'm the queen, and they're like, yes, of course, Your Majesty, we'll move out Lady Jane. Who she thinks she is anyway? Yeah, no, we'll get her out. We said that all along. So poor old Lady Jane Grey, she had 9 days, or it might have been 12. She had not long anyway, less than 2 weeks on the throne, and then she's moved off. What's that doing? To the Tower. Popped in the Tower of London. She is treated quite humanely and nicely. She's got ladies in waiting with her and everything. So she's having quite a comfortable existence. And to her, she's probably like, oh, that's a relief. I didn't even want to do it anyway. And Mary's like, not a complete bitch. She's like, yeah, you go, that's all water under the bridge. I'm the queen now. But then Mary is like the other team to Edward's. I think she's a Catholic and he was a Protestant. And she gets the name Bloody Mary. You might have heard of Bloody Mary from teenage people at parties saying the name in the mirror. Basically, if you ain't a Catholic, she'll have you. Like, and not just like give you a fine or nothing. You're burnt at the stake, my love. You're. So, like, over 300 people she burnt at the stake just for being Catholics or Protestants, whichever the wrong team was. So she was on a bit of a rampage. Meanwhile, poor Lady Jane Grey was like quite a enthusiastic Protestant, and she wasn't quiet about it. So in the end, off with her head. And she was 17 when she died. And I think that was the end of the story. Yeah, so we have Bloody Mary, Henry VIII's daughter. Yeah, poor Lady Jane Grey, the quickest, she's the Liz Truss of queens. My friend Becca gave me that joke when I told an accurate history to her. She was like, oh, like Liz Truss. I thought I'll keep that one in. That made it a bit less funny then, but I couldn't just steal credit for Becca's joke. Anyway, that was all it was. That was slightly inaccurate history. And I hope you've learned something about Lady Jane Grey. And even if you haven't, I hope you've enjoyed this last 8 minutes of time wasting with me. If you want to think of another subject I'll do slightly inaccurate history on, basically my research will consist of either I might watch a documentary, or I might do a bit of Googling or go on Wikipedia for 2 minutes. And then I'll rehash it and I'll tell you the story-ish, slightly inaccurately. Thank you for watching. Okay, thanks, bye.